Welcome back. Here with Money, 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 and we are in conversation with Mr. Harsh Rungta, and we are understanding all about gold bonds, gold monetization scheme, and the ways you can buy gold this Akshaya Tritiya. So we've discussed the sovereign gold bond now. I want to understand the monetization scheme, because that's a scheme where you're actually giving away your gold so that it can be put to better use. That's why the scheme was designed initially. So it's not really a purchase scheme, but how does it work? Should someone think about it at all? It perhaps is quite tax efficient. That's what one hears from experts.
Correct. So gold monetization scheme, as you correctly said, is not a purchase scheme. Gold monetization scheme is a conversion scheme. Think of it like this. You have some gold lying with you. Today you are incurring some costs in terms of safekeeping. This is not the gold that you use. So it's not the jewelry that a woman wears, but households have items of gold that they don't use, right? That kind of stuff, you incur a cost for safekeeping, insurance, etc. Instead of keeping it with you, hand over the safekeeping to the government, and the government not just keeps it safe for you, the government will in fact give you an interest on that gold.
And this is around 2.25% interest.
Depending on the period for which you are willing to keep it, it can be 2.25 or even 2.5 if you put it in the long-term scheme.
And this interest, and here's viewers, hold your breath, this interest paid by the government of India is tax-free. Am I right? Or is there any fine print or caveat somewhere there?
So gold
or is it actually tax-free?
Absolutely. Gold monetization scheme is the most tax-efficient and tax-friendly scheme. I mean, the interest, as you mentioned, is completely tax-free. The redemption, whenever it happens, it is again tax-free. If you want the redemption in actual gold, so you have an option. You can take the cash value or you can ask for gold back. It's not your same jewelry or the same coin that they can give you, but they will give you equivalent gold back.
Which is maybe a Government of India gold coin.
Some kind of a Government of India certified gold, obviously. There they charge you a 0.2% handling fee.
If they're giving you physical gold back.
If you want physical gold back. But I mean, please remember, meanwhile you're getting paid every year 2.25 to 2.5%, depending on the period of the scheme.
So just to understand the lock-in periods as well, you did mention that there could be a penalty if you are going for early redemption from the gold monetization scheme. But is there a lock-in that one should be also aware of?
So there is a 3-year lock-in for the medium-term scheme and a 5-year lock-in for the long-term scheme.
So during that period you can't redeem. After that you can redeem, but you'll have to forgo on the
there
interest.
Will be some amount of clawback on the interest. The government will take back some of the interest that it had paid you.
Now the question is how to go about subscribing to any of this, either the gold monetization scheme or even gold bonds. How do you go and buy a gold bond? Can you go to your bank, or do you have to apply at the RBI website? How does it work?
So gold bonds, your bank will be selling them. I mean, typically you will typically be able to buy it very conveniently when the tranche is on. See, please remember, gold bonds are available for 1 week.
Okay.
During that week you can buy it from your bank. You can also apply to, I think you can also apply to RBI, but definitely almost every bank will sell those bonds to you.
Okay.
In fact, quite a few banks will, with whom you bank and have internet banking facilities, you should be able to buy those gold bonds online.
Okay, but you have to wait for the tranche to be open.
Absolutely.
What about the monetization scheme? Is that an ongoing scheme? Any day of the year or month or week I can decide to go and, make my gold deposit?
Yes, so gold monetization scheme is a 24/7, 365 days a year kind of a scheme. Because please remember, this is not buying. You are actually depositing gold.
Absolutely.
So it is on all the time.
All the time. So coming down to this year's Akshaya Tritiya, the 9th of May, which is the best way? If someone is looking at, buying a token amount of gold, not a huge sum, would you advise, and we don't know about, whether a gold bond tranche opens or doesn't open. So in that case, what's the best way of going about this?
See, if you are very traditional, then typically you want to buy physical gold. And I think there, of course, the India gold coin that MMTC gives through banks as well. Through your friendly neighborhood bank, you will be able to buy the India gold coin. But one of the things that you can do this Akshaya Tritiya, bring home that, whatever is your token, just bring it home, right? Combine it with maybe other tokens that you have accumulated over the years, and if that totals up to more than 30 grams, next day please go deposit it in the gold monetization scheme.
So get the gold, hold on to it for the auspicious purposes, and then go and put it in the gold monetization scheme. You mentioned 30 grams. Is that the minimum threshold?
That is the minimum threshold.
Okay. All right. We'll take a quick break on that note, but we have some viewers who are joining in, and they have certain questions relating to their gold purchases. We'll get them the answers.